Howdy, boys, girls, cats, and squirrels. SoCloseToToast here. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Welcome back, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Judging by the title, you guys are probably like, oh boy, here we go again. And yeah, you're right to feel that way, because we are going again, checking out one of my friends who I thought was a friend, used to play with all the time, making tons of videos with, has fallen to the hashtag #MeToo movement. At first, I thought, absolutely no way. It's going to be one of those instances where it's like Pro Jared, where he was able to prove his innocence with receipts, and it was like women trying to take advantage of the whole Me Too movement going on. And unfortunately, he came out and admitted to it happening. So once that happened, it was like, wow, this is reality. And it wasn't even that long ago. I'm looking back at some of these videos. 3 months is when Mini Lad dropped his apology video. But that's not the video we're checking out today. We're going to be checking out prison mate Luke's video. We actually saw his video on Louis, which I checked out and gave my thoughts and impressions on it. And if you want to check that out, it's up on the channel. A lot of you guys seem to enjoy these type of breakdown, insightful type videos, because I did play with these guys. I mean, Mini Lad was one of the first people I played with out of that whole group and became friends with and really respected, because he always gave his honest truth to me about content and just about being who you are online and things like that. Like, he used to do these drunk live streams, and he was known to be like, you know, drunk Irish guy online, and that was his shtick for a little bit, and he wanted to get rid of that stigma and clean up his image online, and I think he did that really well. And after that, he really started blowing up, and then he moved to America, and you know, the rest is history. And especially with last year, he had that huge tour with, what was it, big jiggly big puff what is it, jiggly panda, sorry panda. Regardless, that tour was really successful. I was following it all over Instagram, seeing how they were doing, and it just seemed like it was really popping off. Well, with all that being said, I guess it's the whole, you have your highest highs and sometimes it's followed by your lowest lows, and that's what this year is for Mini Lad. And it puts somebody in a weird spot, somebody that you're like close with. I want to be there for him to an extent. I don't want to leave this guy in the dust, but he's a distant friend to me at this point. I haven't really seriously talked to him in 5+ years. I mean, I tweet at him, and sometimes he'll reply. Like earlier this year, he replied, you know, when he was getting into some DJing. I was like, oh, we should DJ battle and stuff, just something fun. And that was before all this stuff blew up. And if I could be honest, I don't really know too much about what happened. I just heard Mini Lad, minors, allegations, and that he admitted to these allegations. But I don't know the full spectrum of it. And I feel like this Prison Luke guy, his videos are a great summary of what certain people go through on the internet. He does a great commentary that lets kind of everybody know from a basic standpoint the situation. It might help me even understand it, because I'm not quite sure what happened and if he sexually harassed, what was going on. He was sending pictures to underage fans, and yeah, just a messy situation. Let's check this out.
Mini Lad is someone I wanted to do a video on for a while. Ever since I started doing these videos on people, I wanted to talk about him. But it wasn't originally about what he's done to be kicked off the internet. It's actually going to be about his drama with his original group. But he's done so much since then that makes all of his older drama look like nothing. But I want to give some context on what he's done to turn the whole internet against him, let alone my own personal feelings on it. If you don't know who Mini Lad is, he used to play with a bigger group of YouTubers. They never did end up naming themselves before they kind of broke apart, but most people should know them. Vanos Gaming, H2O Delirious, Terrorizer, Nogla, Big Jiggly Panda, and plenty of other YouTubers that have come and gone from the group. They were the biggest thing out there on YouTube for a while, with all the main members now having millions of subscribers and getting hundreds of thousands to even millions of views on every video. In the early 2010s, these guys were the biggest group of individual content creators there were on the site. There was no Team 10 or any of those other big personality groups nowadays. Makeup channels didn't exist really back then. Most people I know watched at least some of them growing up, or still do. I sure as hell still watch some of them. But that being said, it's 2020 now, and a decent portion of the group just seems to be doing its own thing now. The biggest of these guys being Mini Lad. Now, obviously, people can just leave a group if they want to, and maybe they just didn't get along anymore. But this felt different. Thankfully, user read the description FFS and Hi made videos showing clips of Minilad and Terrorizer talking about Minilad leaving the group. The main reason that Minilad gave for leaving is a joke Terrorizer made about mental health, I'm pretty sure, with him being the only real member besides Minilad to talk about this whole drama. But the drama the internet got started when Minilad started bad-mouthing his old group, talking about how all they play is Gmod and Fortnite, and how they just want drama apparently.
Because I don't play Gmod anymore. That's all he does. Question done. I have no idea. They're still playing Gmod? Damn. For all this time, they're still playing Gmod? I mean, they kicked me out of all their chat, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing, so... They're still... Damn! I'm going off and doing my own thing. And then I saw her face! Alright. Just to clear up some shit. I wasn't kicked. All they did was play Fortnite and Gmod and then...
This is so funny to me because I get this question still, like, about me being in the group. And yeah, no, like, I wasn't kicked either. And I don't think they talk shit on me, as far as I know. They could, but anytime I met them, and I did meet, like, Wildcat, Vanos, Louie, Minnie, Cartoons, all in real life, couple other guys, Moo, and they were all cool. They're all cool people. Besides Louie was the only one that I felt like this weird tension between us, and I talk about it in the video that I put out like a month ago. But that was it. Everybody else was very chill, and I never felt animosity or that they were gonna like talk shit about. Maybe they did. Who knows, dude? They probably were like, yo, this beatboxing bitch, that's all he's good for. I don't know. But at a certain point, we all just kind of stopped talking. But it was just kind of like a slow fade out. It wasn't anything abrupt. I don't know if the same thing just happened to Minnie or if they knew something.
Talk shit about other YouTubers. So I said, fuck that. I broke away from that group. I'm doing my own thing. I've never felt better. My community's stronger than ever. I'm pulling more views than ever. And I'm personally a lot more happy as a human. So that's what happened.
Now, the old group is kind of upset because, you know, the guy they've played with for years and have helped earn his massive fan base is now shit-talking them online for hundreds of thousands of people to see. Most of the group has stayed quiet on this whole drama. Vanos and H2O and all the other real big creators never really talk.
Which doesn't line up with Minnie's point about the group wanting drama. If the group wanted drama, wouldn't they just talk about kicking Minnie and kind of exploding this? Because Minnie stirred the pot. No, I don't know. Am I looking too deep into this?
Talked about it, and Nogla even said to delete these Twitter posts just so the drama isn't out there, which most of them have been now, but back then they weren't. Terrorizer was the only real one to ever talk about this situation and defend himself in the group, and I don't blame him. I would be pissed too if all of a sudden someone that left the group of their own free will, he talks about it like he got kicked out, which he wasn't, he chose to leave, starts talking about how he's kicked out of the chats even though those chats were specifically made for the dreaded Fortnite and Gmod. So I don't know why he was complaining about not being able to see those anymore. Calling the group a bunch of like shit starters, I'd respond too. That's another thing. Terrorizer, the only guy I've seen respond to this, isn't happy about this at all. If you watch these clips, you see how this has affected him. He talks about this all solemnly and sad because he lost a friend.
People don't like when he said that thing about like I made fun of his mental health, like that has a huge knock-on effect of people coming to me accusing me of doing that, and that hurt. And that really hurt. It really hurt.
It sounds
but
like
instead of losing a friend to something tragic like death, he lost it to him becoming a worse and worse person.
That's what it looks like, does it not? Like, it sounds like Minilad's playing the victim card.
This leads us to Minilad, or Craig as I'll call him from now on. It's funny because it sounds like Greg, someone else who's done questionable things to minors, but that's for later. This is something I didn't know if I wanted to talk about originally. I felt like it was a serious issue and maybe I shouldn't. When I was playing my original video on this whole drama, I saw the whole, like, Craig going after minors, and I felt like I couldn't just ignore this, but I didn't want to have to talk about it. And also, it's been months since this happened, so I don't know if I should really bring it back up. But then I found out the day I write this script that he's uploading videos again. I found this out through Keemstar. He made a Twitter video about it, saying how he shouldn't be able to play, like, kids' games, and how he should only stick to, like, adult stuff because of what he's done. Some people say he was going too far with this. But personally, I felt like he wasn't going far enough. If you didn't know, Craig has been proven to not only prey on minors, but also manipulating them. I hope I don't have to explain to you that this is bad. This was during the Me Too movement, so it got some traction, with 2 girls coming out and giving their experiences with Craig's manipulation. This isn't just people saying this without proof. There's plenty of screenshots, from messages to Discord chats to even Snapchats, of him saying stuff like how he's hard for a 17-year-old girl. Not only this, he also manipulates these girls by talking about how scared he is, manipulating them by saying how he regrets doing it and how he will lose everything if they say anything. If there's one thing I will give to Craig, is that he admitted to this, instead of lying to everyone when this got in the public.
I mean, how can you? How can you? Did you see the amount of screenshots? I'm not like sick for myself or anything like that, but just like sick for these people, these girls that, dude, you have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to understand where your place is in society. You have this huge channel, this power, playing it up for an audience that's like, 12 to 25. Like, what are these people thinking? What are these people actually thinking? And then, like, in this era of everybody having phones and being recorded, where are the brain cells going? Where's the IQ? These people become so successful, get so much money, so rich that you think they are successful, yet they're doing these things that are criminal, that you would equate to not being successful, not being somebody that you would want to be like. Setting a bad example to the youth. And he had a girlfriend, didn't he? Like, during most of this? Didn't he have a girlfriend? Like a sweet girl, like that put you on the right track, you would think. And he's just being a slime ball, hiding it. I'm like trying not to get like too emotional about this, because it's just probably a bad look to get too emotional about it, because this really is the first time that I've kind of seen all the screenshots displayed out like that. It's uncomfortable. It's a lot of things. I'm just gonna let the video play and stop talking.
And ignoring it when it came out, he said it was true. It would have been easy for him to just ignore or say it wasn't true, because even when he admitted it to his huge fan base on Twitter, people were still fighting to defend him, saying how he's changed since then and how everyone's overblowing it, even though the reason these girls came out with these stories not only because of the Me Too movement, but also because he was abusing his ex-girlfriend. But he made a post on June 24th talking about how he would go to therapy and how he can't right his wrongs and how he's just going to leave the internet. Honestly, I think he handled it the best way he could. He admitted that he did it, said there was no excuse, and left. Until August 12, 2020, when he made a new video called Minecraft, But All the Mobs Are Me. Like I said before, I only heard about this because Keemstar made a Twitter post about it. So I checked Craig's Twitter and he made a post about coming back. I don't feel like reading it all because I don't think I need to, but the gist of it is how he's living in Northern Ireland now because he wasn't happy in America, and not because he couldn't get prosecuted over there for sexting minors here, and how he's going to be uploading again and trying to get back.
Wait. Hold on. Is this true?
He made a post about coming back. I don't feel like reading it all because I don't think I need to, but the gist of it is how he's living in Northern Ireland now because he wasn't happy in America, and not because he couldn't get prosecuted over there for sexting minors here.
Oh, I don't think we can just gloss over that point, but that might be a valid point right there.
And how he's going to be uploading again and trying to get better. Now, I believe in second chances. And I believe in innocent until proven guilty. I stopped supporting allegations against people until there's proof because we did this with James Charles and Pro Jared, two other YouTubers that had serious allegations put against them. Both of them proved themselves innocent with most of their claims after a while. But you can't come back from this. This man not only preyed on teenage girls, he manipulated them by saying how he would hurt himself, or how they would end his career or life if they ever came out. He was their idol. They were his fans who trusted him and watched him for years.
He used
that to sex these teenagers and try to get away with it. I'm not sorry when I say I can't forgive this, especially since he admitted to it, and is now coming back hoping for sympathy with mental health by blaming it all on mental health. Despite this being known for months, and the mental health card has always been played by him, people still want to defend him, saying how he's changed or how it's the return of the king. It isn't. It's like this post on Twitter says, it's the return of the pedo. What proof do we have of him changing? None. He fled America because he could have been prosecuted over here for what he's done. We don't have any proof that he went to therapy because he's been using the mental health excuse for a while now.
Just didn't feel like the videos were good enough. I struggle a lot with mental health issues.
I'm not saying he doesn't have mental.
The whole him using I'm gonna hurt myself, suicide as an excuse triggers me so much. That gives me mental health problems, hearing that. Anybody that uses suicide as an excuse, as a crutch for sympathy points is, oh my, there's something wrong with you.
Problems. But when you use it as an excuse over and over and over again, it diminishes it for people with actual mental health problems who can actually blame stuff on it. But when people like him use it for every single mistake he does, it gets annoying. And then people just want to welcome him back like he did nothing wrong. Like, what? He's done so much wrong, but you want to just accept it. He's given us nothing except a Twitter post in the beginning of a new video talking about how he's changed and how his mental health is better now and all that crap. I still gotta talk about that video.
Can I also point out that you can't say yourself that you've changed. You just have to visualize and prove it to others, and then the others can say collectively if you've changed. It's like giving yourself a nickname. That's not how it works. Other people give you the nickname. There's just too much irony going on in this video. It hurts. It hurts. And I feel bad for his ex-girlfriend who, like, kind of just gets glossed over in this whole situation. Like, she went through so much stuff, but the crate, it gets even worse. It's like, and it has to deal with minors. But I feel for her too, like the ex-girlfriend. Oh my God, dude. I didn't realize how deep this went and how dark it went.
Video too. The video itself is just another one of those Minecraft videos, but in the first 4 minutes he talks about his mental health and his return. If you think he talks about what he's done and how he's sorry for what he's done to people, you're wrong. This whole portion of the video is just ignoring what he's done. All he talks about is how he's moved back to his parents to step away from everything. He keeps bringing up his mental health.
That's because
and
that's
how
all
it took
he
a turn for the
has.
worse, and that's why he's been gone for a while. How he wasn't happy back then and now he's happy, and how he'll keep improving and growing.
I wanted to come back to Northern Ireland. I went on this mental health journey. My mental just took a turn for the worse, and I know I needed to get back. I needed to be around the ones who I love. I wanted to work on myself, my mental health journey. I got myself into therapy for the last month. If you want me to be real and honest, I haven't been happy with myself for a while. I think...
Real and honest. Then we would love that. Are we getting that in this, though? How do you come back from this? I don't think anybody can give a legitimate answer of how do you come back from this.
Being a YouTuber is the best job I could ever ask for, and I absolutely love what I do. But it got to the point where I was so focused on making sure that my channel was good and the videos came out and
what about
this
the girl?
was okay
Yeah,
because
Thank you.
That's what I've come to realize through working on my mental state, through getting my work and life divide. I'm back to playing guitar again. I'm back to going on walks again and going outside. Admittedly, I stopped going outside for a long period of time because I'm like, if I leave the house, that means I'm not able to work on my videos and I'm not able to work on this.
I get this point that he's making right now, like being a YouTuber and not going outside and like not having a social life. I think most people that create content for a very long time understand this point that he's making. But that's like the only valid point that he's making in this whole thing that makes any type of sense. And I appreciate whoever edited this video just flashing the, you know, oh, you're concentrating on just your channel and all that stuff and taking advantage of minors. You didn't add that in there. There's all the things that were creating harm to you. Why are YouTubers bad at apology
videos? It became
videos?
such a mind game that I lost myself.
But the thing about growth is you need to own up to what you've done to grow from it. But this whole video is him just ignoring that fact and blaming him leaving on his mental health. Not him preying on minors, not him abusing his ex-girlfriend. None of that. Most of the comment section is talking about this too. How he has to address it for YouTube and he can't just keep avoiding it. It reminds me of the Slazlo situation that happened a while back. Slazlo's a YouTuber whose ex-girlfriend accused him of sexual assault. And all of his YouTube friends believed her and threw him to the dogs. And when it was proven that this was false and fake, most of them never apologized until they got too much heat for not doing it. I used to like the people involved with it, like Quiet or I'm Alex, but after they did this, I couldn't. Because they refused to address almost ruining someone's career until it looked bad on them not to. I can't respect that. Hell, I even stopped watching their friends because of it, because how could you be friends with someone like that? That almost destroyed someone's career. And it wasn't the fact that they almost destroyed someone's career. It's the fact that they knew they did, but didn't feel sorry for it. Mini lad, I know you're not watching this, but you're only going to make yourself look worse and worse in the eyes of the YouTube audience until you address what you did to YouTube, so that we can see that you'll admit to what you've done. I said earlier that I don't think he deserves forgiveness, and I don't. This isn't PewDiePie saying the N-word on a bridge. This isn't even Shane Dawson doing black.
Oh my God, bro. that PewDiePie edit. My instant reflex is to just hit pause as quickly as possible.
Face. This isn't some dumb YouTube stunt. This is someone with a massive platform preying on his fans and refusing to own up to what he did. Trying to avoid it now, even though he admitted it back then, because now if he ignores it, maybe he can get away with it. This is what Onision did. He preyed on minors, he abused his ex-girlfriend, and the internet turned against him for his atrocious behavior, so I see no reason not to treat Craig in the same way. One last thing I want to mention in this video is Haley2364. She's one of the girls that Craig sexted and manipulated. She recently made a video talking about what she's been through. I mentioned this because you get to see one of the people that went through the abuse talk about it. So if you genuinely do not think that Craig deserves to be cancelled for this, or that he deserves a second chance, go watch this video. Tell me that Craig deserves success after what he's done.
We're just gonna let that shit slide? No. I felt so fucking terrified. I was just trying to be a good friend. And I thought that's what he thought I was, but all I was a goddamn tool. A goddamn tool to keep anybody from knowing who he truly was.
I'll leave a link to it in the description. People need to hear why he doesn't deserve to come back. And even if you don't support Craig anymore, go watch it, because you get to see through the person's perspective what Craig did. That's all I really wanted to say. Craig doesn't deserve the support, and he deserves to be kicked off the platform for what he's done. There's no stopping him if he does it again. He still has a massive platform. His videos will still get like hundreds of thousands of views, so it's like, why support him? And the fact that people want to forgive him so quickly is honestly disturbing. He deserves to be remembered for what he did. You can't come back from this, and the fact that people want to let him is disappointing. There's also the fact that he abused his ex-girlfriend that I did go into depth with, because there's so many other things that he's done. I don't know how to end this video. I don't. It's just a terrible thing that YouTube will let him on. I guess I should end with, don't bother Terrorizer or any of the other people in his old group. They didn't know about any of this stuff, and they're not even associated with him anymore, so leave them alone. They don't need to be reminded of him and what he's done, and it's not their fault for what he's done. He's left the group, so they don't need to be harassed by people for this. Not that I expect any of you guys to, but if you're just like angry about it, blame Craig. Don't blame people like Vanoss Gaming or anything.
Man, like, he really thinks about everything that I'm thinking about during the video, and he makes a little point about. Yeah, listening to that girl choke up a little bit when she's talking about feeling like a tool, I almost got choked up a little bit hearing that, because I think a lot of us know what it feels like to be a tool in a relationship and just being one-sided and having the person kind of put you in a weird position. And I'm an adult, I'm a boomer, and this happens to me, but I can't even imagine this happening to a minor from an adult. That's just such a weird power dynamic to me. Breaks your heart for them, because you know, like, he's just putting on this emotional weight and stress onto her, and she's probably never had to deal with anything like that in her life, and if she has, it's just been horrible. Like, even as a young kid, having to deal with suicide, just evil, dark thoughts that happen, it's hard to kind of come to grips with that as a kid, and then having emotional baggage from an adult putting that onto you, I just can't even imagine. And like, as a guy, I can't even really imagine, because this is something that I feel primarily just happens to women, to girls. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna need to take a seat and chill out for a little bit and just kind of dissect what I just watched and think about it, because it's a lot learning all this information, and this is just like scratching the surface to an extent. It sounded like there's way more. We didn't really exactly go into detail, and I'm kind of happy, because I was just kind of feeling nauseous halfway through this video. Just like, you gotta be kidding me. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you want to see more videos kind of dissecting certain topics, getting my thoughts, my impressions, something a little bit more laid back, but this hopefully is something a little bit more positive for the future. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop those L's, hit the bell, and we got merch going on right now. There's only a couple more weeks for the merch that's on the store at the moment, so feel free to check out the merch. I guess I'll shamelessly plug that on this depressing video. But have a wonderful rest of your day, and stay safe out there. Peace out. Shake 'em and bake 'em.